You're all set?
Thanks, Lauren. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Reynolds School Project Building Committee. It is February 15th, about 5:17. And Lauren, could you do the roll call for us, please?
Chairman Woods,
Here.
Brittany Carr,
Here.
Carol Duggan.
Yeah, Carol's excused.
Yeah, sorry. Dave Nagel,
Here.
Amy Parati,
Here.
Kim Rada,
Here.
and I don't see Jeremy Wetzel,
Okay,
but you do have a quorum.
thank you. Okay, next item is public participation, and I looked a minute ago, but I'll look again. I don't think we have no attendees from the public. So next is take action on prior meeting minutes. We have meeting from February 1st. So I'd entertain a motion that we approve the minutes as written for the February 1st, 2024 meeting. Anyone?
I'll make someone else do it.
Amy?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, thank you, Amy.
Second.
And second by Kim. Any discussion, corrections? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item is architect's update. Jennifer, welcome.
You're on mute, Jennifer.
Hey, Jen.
Okay.
Jennifer, there
I
you go.
tried your space bar
It
thing.
doesn't work for you?
I couldn't get it to work, and I'm sorry. I can't find the regular Zoom screen for some reason. I can see people's faces, and that's it.
Huh.
So
It's
I
weird
don't
'cause
know.
I've never had it not work.
I tried it. Okay. Anyhow, sorry for the delay. So,
Yeah.
our recent design team activity is same as always. We still have some questions coming from the contractors, so we're addressing those questions, providing answers, reviewing any potential change orders or proposed change orders, and going back and forth sometimes, asking questions to make sure that we understand that the costs are fair and reasonable. There are 6 proposed change orders that we reviewed and that are on your agenda this evening. And we recommend those for approval. And we recently reviewed the application for payment for January, and we recommend that for approval. It's close to $400,000 this for that pay up. And I'm sure you'll go over that later. And the canopy, that's one update. Canopy is out for pricing that design. Any comments or questions?
Doesn't look that way. Thank you, Jennifer.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yep. Next is the owner's project managers update. Ellie?
Unmuting. Hi, everyone. So as Jennifer stated, we continue to go back and forth. So we had recently had an OAC meeting on the snow day. Everyone was on Teams to discuss the current project items. We are continuing to address the items that come up for the new renovation of D-Wing, and Newfield's continuing to have their subcontractors work through. And there's also a punch list work that's going to be happening for Friday, Saturday, and Monday that we've been discussing. So Monday is President's Day. Good day to catch up on some items that need completion. And I've also been meeting with Jason Smith briefly on Thursdays and in touch with Lou and with Steve, sometimes going back and forth to discuss any additional issues that come up. The additional FF&E that was approved last week, the purchase orders were issued and that is on order. I have to just get a date when that's due in. We are approving invoices and going through the budget, which I'll do a little bit later. And we're still in a good place currently. So that is the update. Anyone
Okay.
have any questions?
Any questions for Eileen? Nope, don't see anybody. Go ahead, we'll roll right into the next item, which is financial update, which is again you, Eileen.
Okay, let me pull it up and share my screen. All right, can everyone see this all right?
Yeah, I think we're good.
So we're still doing really well in all of the categories, and I'll go down to through the detail. We're 88% complete with KBA, or 87, excuse me, and 75% with CSG. Our materials and inspections, we just put some money in there. We are almost complete with the commissioning agent, so that's something that we're gonna need to talk about for the next invoice that comes in. And we're definitely doing well, really well on moving and storage costs. FF&E, we are 71% complete, and technology close to 60. And then for owner's contingency, we have 637 left remaining. Here is the budget detail. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. Oh, sorry, that's not working for me. All right, who knows the magic?
Down
There
at the
we go.
bottom?
Oh, no.
Okay. Down
Yeah,
at the
I know,
bottom
it's
right,
on
you
the-
tried that?
Yeah, it's on the other side of my screen is the
Oh.
issue,
Oh, okay.
which is behind my smaller screen.
Mm.
Anyway, all right, so I'll just go through this. I moved over from owner contingency, the 21,200 that we did for the canopy design. We have a KBA invoice that came in. We'll be going through invoices. We have, I don't know that the CSG invoice hit today, actually.
It did.
Okay, thank you, Lauren.
Welcome.
So we'll see that. We have no invoices from environment. We have about 50 left. We transferred money from owner contingency to cover additional invoices from Tri-State. So we have about 5K left for those invoices. And then IES, this is our commissioning agent, and that's where I was talking about that we would probably need to move funds over for the additional invoices left. But also here for moving and storage, we have a fair amount left. Freeman, we still have a good amount left there as well. And then these are the FF&E, invoices that came through that were approved last week. And the Whaley invoice, so I don't want to get ahead of ourselves as far as invoices, but we're doing really well. Anyone have any additional questions on the budget?
Go ahead, Amy.
Yeah, thanks. So for the moving and storage, I know like we're paying for storage for like the library books and that's mostly right. And
So
then
yeah, it's not, there's 9 tables in storage, and then there's a bunch of boxes that went in from the last quarter. So that's a third invoice that you're gonna see. And then the original stuff that went in from the library on the first go
so
around.
do we expect like I think there's like 100,000 left in there. We don't expect nearly that much to like moving all that storing for
Right.
another few months and then moving it back to the school is not nearly $100,000, right?
Right, so Steve and I have been discussing moving some funds around, and go ahead, Steve, I'll let you take over.
Yeah, we're predicting right now that there'll be probably in excess of $75,000 left in that account, Amy.
Okay.
The line item, okay?
That's good.
So yeah, overall, we're doing well. You know, some of the areas that were budgeted a little bit higher and coming in lower, obviously going to help us in a few of the areas that are coming in higher and budgeted lower. But again, I'm somewhat hopeful that we will be able to get the canopy done. That's my goal right now. It did go to Newfield today, so Newfield will send it out to their subs for pricing. So with a little bit of luck, we hopefully can have some pricing on that canopy at our next meeting.
Great. Thanks.
Okay. Anyone else? Any other comments or questions? Okay, we're going to move on then. Construction managers update, Rich. And if I misspoke on the 2 weeks, Rich, you can fill me in now. I'm hoping we'll have those numbers back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're going to be pushing our subs. I'll get that out probably tomorrow morning to the subs, requesting pricing within a week. So
Great.
I started looking at it this afternoon. I just want to make sure we get all the scope correct on our subs to make sure we get everything on the first go around. So we'll be reviewing that, and tomorrow morning we'll get that out for pricing with all the subs. So
Thank you.
should be we're going to push that to be pretty quick. So we're working back in phase 5 still, which is the Dealing Media Center. The overhead mechanical rough-in is ongoing. So mechanical systems in this wing are slightly different than the other wings, just because of this being an addition. There's more space above the ceilings. So VAVs are being used in this phase of the building. So we do have mechanical piping is all ongoing. Mechanical ductwork is getting installed as well. And electrical overhead and in-wall rough is ongoing at this time. So we are continuing through with that. We did have a building inspection on yesterday, and that allowed us to start closing up some walls in the toilet rooms. So we are working through that as well. So again, overhead rough here, sprinklers in this phase are being reused as part of the original contract documents. New heads on the sprinkler, but mains all stay. So you can see that in this photo. We have the existing mains. We also have the new copper pipe you can see overhead for both plumbing and mechanical work. So so that is ongoing. The door frame and the wall that you see in this photo are new in the corridor, cross corridor doors. So those walls are well on their way to being built. So the mason is continuing with all of his interior block work at this time as well. Again, additional overhead mechanicals are going in, VAV boxes again, hot water distribution piping and plumbing piping are all going in, and electrical wall rough-in is ongoing as well. For the TV boxes, these heights and locations were revised and clarified. So blocking is going in at the revised heights, as well as the TV boxes. So power wires are in for those, and conduits in for the low voltage as well, getting that all roughed in above ceiling and tied all back into the electric room that's in the media center closet. Like I said, in the toilet rooms, the in-wall inspection occurred yesterday. So the mason began yesterday with this block wall. So we have a plan with the plumbing contractor for him. After he finished in this first bathroom, he's going on to the next group lavatory and continuing in there. We have another inspection scheduled for next week with the building official as well. Then there'll be an additional one after that for the classroom sinks. We are looking towards some dates here in the next few weeks with our subs for getting some drywall started on site. And we also have a meeting we had today with the roofing contractor, the carpenter, the plumber for their roof coordination. So we are looking, as soon as the weather breaks here, we do have some weather dependent dates, but the month of March, we're going to start with the parapets on the roof, and into April, we'll be doing the roof rip and replacement on this phase. So it's tough when there's snow on the roof to really do much work and keep the building tight. So right now it makes sense for us to leave the existing roof on for the time being, and make that replacement during the month of April when there's less chance of the snow being up there. And again, the mason's continuing. So in the art room, this kiln room is being constructed here. Mason's mostly complete with that as of today. So again, a lot of the interior masonry work is complete. The mechanical penetrations are getting infilled at the old ones, and the new mechanical wall penetrations are getting headed off. And he's working his way through the interior work, and he'll be going to the exterior on the courtyard after this. Precast panels all got installed earlier this week, all in the south face of the building. The courtyard face of the building gets a large amount of brick. So the steels on the bump outs in the media center is going to be going on next week. Following that with the cold form framing and the mechanical, cold form framing in the masonry work out there. So we are, in pretty good shape. We're looking, we have some dates scheduled right now. The windows are scheduled to start on the March 4th. The roof also March 4th. So material procurement wise, we're in good shape. The glass is actually all getting delivered on Monday, and the aluminum window frames will be delivered on that March 4th date. So if we can better that date, our glass contractor is available to do that. So assuming the openings are ready for him with the masonry and the carpentry, we'll be bringing him in a few days early if possible. So and like we said, the canopy, we're working on pricing that. That'll be for install over the summer. So getting that canopy in will be one of the very first things that happens after the kids leave. So we'll be working on our schedule as well to develop that to show all that work at the main entry. There is power for lights involved in that, structural work and the site work associated with it as well. So we'll be working with the subs to coordinate that, and we're working with the site work contractor now to get him into the courtyard in the next few weeks as well. Starting in there once the asphalt plant's open, to put the asphalt down and work our way out of the courtyard and out of the building before the turnover a few weeks prior to the end of school. Anybody has any questions?
Anyone have any questions for Rich? I don't see anybody's hand up, so thank you, Rich. Actually, you're on again, Rich. We have potential change orders, so we have a few that you might hold to roll right into.
Okay. For tonight's meeting, we have PCO 215, which is for Crediting the reinstall of the gym climbing wall and the ad for the additional wall pads that went up in its place. So there was questions on the mounting of the wall pads as they were going back in a slightly different location than originally they were taken down from, as well as coordination with the basketball hoops and horn strobes and wall pads, so acoustic wall pads in those areas. So the owner decision on that one was to not reinstall the climbing wall and to install wall pads instead. So there was an additional cost associated with that in the gym. PCO 218, there were adjustments made for the coat hooks and the shelves in the second grade cubbies, which is what this phase 5 work is. Those drawings had already been completed at the factory for the casework, and the casework was actually released on January 15th. The decision to change the heights in there was not made until a couple weeks after that, towards the end of January. So there was some re-engineering required, but the coat hooks and the shelves are going to be adjusted in the heights based on the owner's direction there, based on coordination with KBA and the owner. So there was some just slight re-engineering there. PCO 219 is for RFI 268 D-Wing 106 classroom. Existing window head was not as what was shown on the as-built drawings from the 1999-2000s edition. So when the demo was completed there, it was discovered we needed to build down a header in framing, because the masonry header that was intended to be over that window did not exist. So based on that, it was determined with KBA that we needed to add that header in to set the proper window opening. PCO 220 is for our RFI 279. E113 is a meeting room over by the art room, and there's added furring to allow the LED TV mount to be installed. So conceal the wires and the data and power in the boxes associated with that, and give a mounting location for the TV. So E113 is getting a furred out wall in one section. PCO 221 is for work that we need to do with the roofer to cut in a reglet on the roof, part of the roof flashing. To accomplish the contract detail, we had a note in the roofer's contract to furnish the roofing reglet, and he was intended to turn it over to the mason for the mason's install. We had a scope bust on there. We did not purchase that from the mason to have the install cut in, so we're pulling from the CM contingency to have the roofer furnish and install that reglet. And as part of that change to him, he does have roof protection in there as well, as he's working over the existing roof, but we decided to keep it within the same contractor just for coordination purposes. So again, CM contingency item for that. PCO 222 is for the D-Wing water main back charge. The applicable trade contractors owned cut, cap, and drop of their mechanical systems, and there was a section of the plumbing mains that were to remain, but the demo contractor for some reason decided to remove that copper and needed to be replaced. So there's a back charge here from the plumber to the mechanical contractor to reinstall that piping. So what was supposed to be reused existing is now going to be new for a section in the corridor here. So there's a significant amount of work associated with that due to the size of the piping, but it's all going to be funded through the back charge to the demo contractor. Anybody has any questions on any of these?
Anyone have any questions? I'll see anybody's hand up. I do have one for you, Rich. PCO 258. It's right, right? But you're showing that
So Steve, I can't really hear you there.
you cannot hear me?
That's better.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was looking away. That's PCO 215.
Mhm.
It should be a credit, so it should be a minus, right? So if you add up all those figures, it does come to 58, 1586, and the number should be 4,078, 94, I believe.
PCO 215, I'll have to look at the backup on that. Sorry.
Is it not?
The credit was for the reinstall of the climbing wall. So there was, I believe it was an 8-hour credit that he provided on that. I can look at the additional backup, but there was an additional cost of, I believe it was somewhere around $2,800 to add the wall pads. So there was an add for wall pads and a credit for reinstalling the climbing wall. So it was a net add still.
Okay, all right. I know I signed the credit today, or initial due credit today. That's why I thought it was, and I might be confusing it. Maybe I didn't realize there was two separate ones. All right, so so this is, I guess I'm still being thrown off by you're calling over credit the gym climbing wall install, and it's a cost. Right, we should probably
Yeah, the
eliminate the
title
word
doesn't,
credit.
yeah, the
Yeah.
title,
Yeah, just eliminate the word credit. And then it makes a lot more sense. Okay,
Yeah, I can do that, Steve.
Okay.
I'll actually, just so everyone is aware, I'm pulling up the backup to this PCO. So there was so credit for the labor for reinstalling the climbing wall was 8 hours of labor, $718 credit on the labor portion, and the add was $23.42 for the wall pads. So that came direct from National, who's the installer, and the general trades contractor credited back the labor of 718, made his net 1704.
okay. All right. So then I understand a motion that we approve PCOs 215, 218, 219, 220, 221, and 222 in the amount of $5,815.86.
So moved.
Thank you, Dave. And a second?
Second,
Second, Brittany or Amy?
Brittany can have it.
Brittany. Thank you, Brittany. Any comments, questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. So we took action on invoices. Any other business pertinent to the committee? I know we have one. Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't take action on invoices. We got to go back. We did change orders. Now we have the invoices, which I think, Eileen, you
Yeah.
usually do those? Yeah, go ahead.
Am I sharing?
Yes,
Okay. So there are 6 invoices tonight in the amount of $24,629.35. We have an invoice from IES. And we have 3 from Meyer. I'm sorry. So the 9 tables, the books, and the miscellaneous storage boxes that we went through earlier with Amy. Then we have KBA, their monthly services. Excuse me. Lost my voice there for a second. And then we have the CSG monthly invoice for $10,028.25. And all of the backup, if anyone needs to see the invoices.
everybody has this in their packet.
Yeah.
That Lauren sent out, so we should be
Okay.
good. Are there any questions on any of this before I ask for a motion? So then I would entertain a motion that we approve the vendor invoices, 1 invoice from IES, 3 from Meyer, 1 from KBA, which is their monthly invoice, and 1 from CSG, again, which is their monthly invoice, in the total amount of $24,629.35.
So moved.
Thank you, Kim. And a second?
Second,
Thank you, Amy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, I was getting ahead of myself now. Any other business pertinent to committee? I know we do have one, which is payment app 21 from Newfield. And it's their monthly application. And it is in the amount of $382,987.15, which, as both Jennifer and Eileen have assured us that they've looked through this and approved it and have signed off on it. So again, it's just their monthly billing cycle for the amount of $382,987.15. So I'd entertain a motion that we approve that.
So moved.
Thank you, Dave. And a second?
Second.
Second by Amy.
It was Brittany.
Oh, Brittany?
I know we sounded like it was
You
me.
sound like, yeah, you sound a lot. I'm sorry. It's gonna take me a while to figure that one out. And then a close third for Kim. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimous. And next item is public participation. And we still have no one from the public with us. And comments by members. Anybody have anything?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead, Amy.
For our next meeting, which I believe is March 7th, we can do the tour at the school. I just want to confirm after our meeting. Have the Board of Ed and the council at the school. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah, Eileen, why don't you send out an email and confirm it with Rich with Newfield
Sure,
and send an
absolutely.
email out to everybody, okay?
Okay. Mhm.
All right, Amy, thank you.
Yeah, that should work for Newfield. That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay,
Okay.
so we'll do the meeting up in the conference room and then do the walkthrough, correct?
After the meeting at like 5:45. All right, make it 5:45. We'll make sure. The first meeting of the month goes usually quicker. So we should be okay.
Thanks. And then I just had another, just confirmation.
Yep.
Or we talked last time about the canopy design. And I think Jennifer, you were going to look at if it can be extended any. Was that doable, or what's the final proposal that we're getting
Yeah.
a quote for?
I'll forward it to you, Amy. It wasn't doable. Like they
Okay.
couldn't do it, extend it any further without adding much more supports and more masonry work tying back into it. I have since talked to Lou. I believe Lou is going to figure something out for that small door at a later point. Okay. But there was
Great,
no
thank
way to
you.
get it stretched. It's just a little too far.
Yeah, having like a little awning over that door would be
Yeah.
nice though. So, all right, Lou, I'll talk to you about that. Thanks.
Rich, you're still sharing your screen.
Okay, I think we're done. A motion to adjourn? Anyone?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Amy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And there's never anyone opposed, so we stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your
Thank you.
time. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you.
Me too.
Good
And
night.
happy belated Valentine's Day to everybody. Hope you had a good one. Although
You
It was
too.
a little snowy, all right? All right, have a great night.